That's how it looks right there. Good morning. Wednesday, 10 a.m., bright and early. Y'all, it is cold outside, but I'm not alone in the cold today. I have a partner in crime with me in the truck. Welcoming in Yaritza Perez, United States Marine Corps veteran and a good friend of mine. Thank you, ma'am, for joining me today.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. I get a truck. It's AC outside. It's an AC outside. It's cold outside, and you get to join me today. So this is really cool. I appreciate you making some time. I know you've had a pretty celebratory past couple of days. Not only Veterans Day, but Marine Corps birthday.
Amen.
So, we were talking about it, guys, before she got in the truck. I was like, I'm an Air Force guy, but we kind of, once you're done, you're like, yeah, I'm a vet. Marine Corps, once you get, you guys call the tab? Is that what they're called? Or
Eagle Globe and Anchor.
The Eagle Globe and Anchor. They're a Marine Corps for the rest of their life into eternity. They show up at the pearly gates, showing that going, I VIP access, and God's just like, come on in. So Yaritza, thank you. Talk to me a little bit. Where are you from originally?
Originally from the Bronx.
Bronx, New York.
Yes.
My mom's a Queens baby.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It comes out every once in a while.
Yeah, so she's the New Yorican. My mom's a New Yorican.
Yes.
Proud New Yorican.
Yes.
So, well, what New Yorican isn't proud, right?
Right.
So you grew up in New York. Talk to me a little bit about you growing up. What was youth like in New York? What kind of kid were you?
Typical 80s time in New York, in the Bronx, playing out with the fire hydrants in the summertime.
Oh, man.
Playing Skelsies with my brother and sister and manhunt in the streets sometimes.
The things that only us Floridians see on TV, like.
Correct.
In the movies. Like, they really do that? It's
yeah.
Like, yeah, that's how they have fun on the streets.
Right.
So you went through all high school in New York, or did you end up coming down here to Florida at some point?
So we like typical Puerto Rican migration pattern.
Okay.
We came down to visit family one Christmas.
Okay.
And my mom was sold that next year we moved down to Florida, so I went to high school here in Florida. You can see me at Gateway High School representing those Panthers.
Uh-oh. She's a rival, guys, because you guys know I went to high school down in Osceola, but I went to Point Siena. So your rival which was the main rival? Was it Osceola High School?
I think Osceola High School and
Cowboys?
St. Cloud. We were like kind of in between both, so.
I'm bad at this. What's St. Cloud's mascot? The Bulldogs. Oh, you knew that because she rivaled down there. Did you do any sports or anything and stuff in high school?
Yeah, definitely. I played lots of sports, and honestly, I'd never heard of ROTC until we got to Osceola County, and there's a ROTC program, and by God's grace, the Marine Corps program is at Gateway High School, so I was able to learn a little bit more.
Okay.
I have been wanting to be a Marine since I was about 5 years old.
So what was the initial attraction to the Marine Corps?
My dad's a Marine, but didn't talk about it much.
Okay.
But he just brought it to our attention when we were kids, and then coming to Gateway High School with that ROTC program,
you were like,
it's obviously a sign. So
okay.
I was able to learn so much more about the Marine Corps, the traditions, the history, and I fell in love.
You were sold.
Yeah, sign me up.
And let's be real, they got the best dress uniform on the face of the planet.
I mean, I don't want to bring it up, but...
Well, no, you were going to bring it. You're a Marine. You would have brought it up at some point. So you were actively in the JROTC program.
I did.
And then did you enlist straight out of Gateway?
I sure did.
So talk to me about that process, because I'll never forget at the recruiter's office doing all that stuff, but it's got to be a completely different ball game enlisting in the United States Marine Corps and rolling in to Ellis. Like, talk to me about the whole process.
Yeah, for sure. So just like going through MEPS process, just even signing up as a girl is in the Marines.
Yeah, let's address that. Like,
that's the most.
I don't think most
branch.
people will look at you. Let's be just transparent. A Latin female, and going, "You're a Marine."
Right. Until they hear me open my mouth.
And then you're repping your Latin veteran shirt. I love it. Latina veteran. So talk to me a little bit from that perspective, joining the Corps in the 90s as a female.
It's definitely difficult because that standard
Look at you.
was
Look
set,
at that face.
Right? Baby face, 18-year-old me.
Oh, man. And then, of course, basic training, throwing on some of the gear.
honestly, this was in Kuwait.
Oh,
We were
okay.
at just at the border where at Kuwait and Iraq. So
Right.
this is us just prepping during some gas.
Oh, so that
gas
was
trucks.
you were ready, rocking and
We were
rolling.
ready going to war. Yeah.
So when you initially enlisted, talk to me about that phase. You show up, you're signing up. Walk me through the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. I was very close to my mom growing up.
Okay.
So I'm a mom's girl for sure. And that was hard. I'd never been away from my mom more than I think 2 weeks at that time.
Wow.
And of all places, going to Marine Corps boot camp, like her baby is going to boot camp. How could that be? And it definitely was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. It definitely gave me an opportunity to grow as a young woman.
Right.
It gave me some independence, although my mom was always very supportive in all of my decisions, even though she might not have agreed with all of them.
Right.
She definitely didn't want me to sign to go to the Marine Corps. I was 17 when I left, and she didn't want to sign. And I explained to her, like, if you don't do this now, when I turn 18, I'm going to go regardless. So I want to go with your blessing.
That's beautiful.
And she knew,
Ah,
like,
you
how
make
much
me
it meant to
emotional.
me. Yeah. So, and at the time, it's 1999, and, we're not at war.
Brett, you bring up a very good point. So I enlisted in 2005, well after 9/11. So and for our viewers here, you got to think about this for a second. 1999, you're enlisting.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been attacked yet. So you're now in the United States Marine Corps. You're an enlisted member. You're full-blown active duty. And at this point, you're a mom.
Yep. Just had my brand new baby. She's about 3 weeks. She was born in August, and, we're attacked less than a month later, September 11th. And I was giving her morning bottle. I was stationed on Camp Pendleton in California, and I almost dropped her, like, just that sheer
Right.
fear of, like, oh my gosh, like,
Well,
what
you
is going on
enlist
right now?
with nothing going on.
Nothing. We're at
Not
peacetime.
thinking.
Yep.
We don't ever think anything's going to happen.
With the intent to know that I'm prepared to go. I'm a Marine. I know that that's what we sign up for.
Amen. And now reality has set in.
Reality really hits
So your enlistment got real serious real quick.
very quick.
So,
Life.
but yeah, man, and I don't think many people can understand that, because as we drive, I'm a as the crow fly thinker. I love to look at things from an aerial perspective, and as cliche as it sounds, we're driving around, say here, each one of these cars have their own life going on right now, and we're in this car talking about what I like to call true life, things that no one will ever be challenged to think about.
Right.
And you signed up for a job that had a subsection that included my life,
Right.
and now that's become a reality.
Big time.
So at some point, do you receive orders to deploy, or
Yeah,
did it take
actually,
some time?
so like every 4 years, for the first 4 years, there's always 1 year that we normally go to Okinawa.
Okay.
When my year came to go to Okinawa, they're like, hey, we're not going to Okinawa, we're going to Iraq instead.
Okay. So you receive your orders and you're headed out, and we got to talk about this a little bit. You're going to a blank canvas.
Right.
Because when I went there, everything was already developed. The bases were there. The streets were pretty formed by U.S. troops. You didn't have any of that when you went.
Correct, yeah. We were literally in Kuwait setting up those great white tents that everyone hears about all the time.
Oh my gosh.
We were there helping set up the camps in Kuwait, and actually our unit, we were the ones who set up the fuel lines from Kuwait into Iraq.
Because they weren't there.
They didn't exist.
It's like building I-4.
It's built.
You guys had to show up. Seriously, you had to show up and build something out of nothing.
Right.
And bring the equipment
Right.
to build that.
And we were the first unit to ever deploy a hose reel system, which is pretty much like hose on a spool. So we were setting up those fuel lines in an expedition, just miles going into Iraq. The Army came out later on and set up the hard lines across the street. We were there first. I just want to point that out.
Oh, well, come on. We all know you guys are there first.
But we essentially set up those fuel lines so that, those guys going into Baghdad and going into combat, they were stopping at our fuel points.
They have
right
the
before.
resources that they need to accomplish the mission.
Mm-hmm.
So you come back home, and let's be real, you probably created more relationships in that enlistment than any person creates in their lifetime.
Right.
At least those level of bonds.
Yeah.
You served, 12 years active
12 years.
duty. And then, you were a physical person, so you were into sports and stuff. So
Yeah.
you got out, unfortunately, a little bit of a knee injury, but you continued to serve. Talk to me what happened, or let's talk about that transition time when you separate as a Marine into the civilian sector. What were some of the good things and some of the challenges you faced?
It was a challenge. It was an injury that I had gotten from playing football, but while I was on active duty. So like, it was an unexpected injury that ended up costing me my career.
Right.
So that just unexpected transition already it can be very challenging mentally, especially for someone who has been trained not to say, hey, something's wrong or I don't feel comfortable with this. It's just push on for the mission. But I no longer have a mission, so what do I do now?
Right.
And although the Marine Corps and the military in general takes months, if not years, to train us to become the war fighters that we are, they take just a few weeks to get you out the door.
I'll never forget, 2-week transition class, and suddenly I was a civilian. And
it's boom, boom. It's so many classes that you cannot.
You don't absorb any of it.
None of it.
Let's be real. They try, and this is not a hit on anybody.
Right.
But it's to no fault of their own. It's a machine, and it's not designed to really put us back out.
Exactly.
And is it something that we work on? It's something I think that we will continue to work on. It's things that you have done.
Yes.
Afterwards, because your experience is to make sure our vets have what they need.
Yes.
And it is sad. It is sad. But it's people like you that make sure that we've got what we need. So you suffered that injury. What was the come out moment of that for you, to where you're like, I'm gonna get back into helping our veterans?
I had gotten an invitation to go play golf, which, as an athlete that plays contact sports, golf, I was like, what?
Is this a sport?
What is this golf you speak, right? But we're in Florida, so now I've definitely definitely accepted it. But at the time, I was like, what do you mean? And it was just getting out to this golf tournament. And for the first time, I was around just vets. I'm outside. I'm talking to vets, so I'm able to speak my language, and sometimes it's very colorful.
Thank God we're not on live TV right now.
But they were talking my language, and they were accepting me for who I was, where I was.
So you found that, like, wait, I don't need, let me see how I want to say this, that family vibe while in the Corps that you missed, that you didn't think existed out of the Corps, suddenly you found it.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a second. What's happening right now?
There's camaraderie out here? What?
That's amazing. So you guys attend balls. The Marine Corps has some of the fanciest balls around. You sent some pictures in of that and some other things. I wanted to make sure we hit this, the second showing of photos, because I wasn't sure what exactly this was, because you sent this one. You are all over the place.
Yeah, I've done some advocacy work in the environment and across the state of Florida.
What's this?
I got to do some advocacy work with veteran organizations. I was actually able to participate in helping restore the entryway to El Morro, which is a national park in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Which is amazing, because now this is just after Hurricane Maria that we were able to go back and help in our community. And then I realized, just as a Latina, like how it's bringing back my heritage and my bloodline, but also my responsibility and commitment to this country as an American is to give back.
Oh.
And so, like, I was actually restoring the entryway to the chapel at the fort. So, like, to me, I was like,
having a moment.
Yeah, like, how could I not give back? This is in my blood. This is my ancestry, to do more for my land.
Oh, you're like a spirit animal. You are something else, Yaritza. Now, for quite some time, when I met you, you're no longer with this organization, but you were working for a fairly large veteran organization that does a lot here within the country. Yeah. Pretty popular. With your advocacy with them, what was some of those moments that you enjoyed serving while serving with that organization?
That they gave me the opportunity to be able to go around the state and meet my brothers and sisters that any other time I would not have that opportunity or the resources to do so. And it gave me a chance to get them out of the house, because one thing that I've actually been doing myself, unfortunately, lately, but unintentionally, we love our solitude, but we will let it slide into isolation. And once we get to that point, it can become very dangerous. And we're taught not to ask for help. We're taught not to like say, hey, something's wrong. I need to take a moment, or we just don't do that because we are our family members. We are our village's heroes.
Right.
So like, how do you tell the village, like, the hero, and I'm not trying to wax my own car when I say that.
No.
I'm trying to say, like, I just know that that's how my people see me because that's who I've become as a person. Like, I like to step up. I like to advocate. I like to speak for those who don't have maybe the voice to speak up for.
It's almost that pride does get in the way because we enjoy, and I'm almost unintentionally tooting a horn, but I put myself in your category, but it's like, I don't know what some of the people that I have around me would do if I failed.
Right.
And that sits heavy.
Heavy as the ground.
And it's emotional because it's like you strive. You've been embedded with a level of standard that you live by, or at least you try to live by every day. And then suddenly you feel your gas tank drooping down a little bit. And you're like, wait, who's going to fill me up? Who's going to help me out a little bit? And then yet we don't want to stop for gas.
Right.
Is that, like, me and my traffic
That's so
references, sorry.
Which is wild because I'm a fueler by trade in the
Look
Marine
at
Corps.
that.
So I'm
So
like,
it's working out.
I know better.
And it's like,
yeah.
Where does that go? But now for you, you've found yourself, you said it like recently, slowing down. Where does that recovery come from? As a vet, as a Marine, as someone who fought to make sure everyone else was okay, and you find your struggles, where do you find that little extra for yourself now?
Honestly,
even when you can.
Yeah, even when I can. Reaching out to my people, my tribe, my fellow vets.
How hard is that to practice what you preach, though?
Oof, it is the hardest.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No,
you know I love
difficult.
you.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's like...
But it's the conversation we need to have.
Right.
Earlier this year, there were some changes within the organization, and I no longer work with them anymore. And that really knocked me off the rails. And I had to take a knee. I didn't realize how much I needed to take some time off. And
when you say take a knee, you're not saying you're giving up.
Exactly.
You needed to take it for you.
Exactly.
Just a pause.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's slow down for a second.
Right.
What was that moment for you to be like, I need to stop for a second?
So I have a couple of tattoos, like one on my thumb that's a semicolon, which to me means it's not the end of my statement. It's just a continuation of who I am and what I'm about to be. And I lost my mom last year, and I got a tattoo, like old school mom tattoo on my arm.
Yeah.
And every time I get sad, I look down and I see my mom's tattoo. And there's a photo that I shared with you guys when I recently received an award about 2 years ago from the congressman for Hispanic Heritage Month, for being a distinguished leader in my community, and where my tattoo is where my mom is grabbing my arm, And so, like, my mom sacrificed so much to come from Puerto Rico, not really knowing the language very well, with 2 kids on her hip, and she still pushed forward. How could I let that legacy just fall on me? I need to keep on moving forward. So taking a knee is perfectly fine. And just, I'll look back and
look at her smile.
See these photos, right? And I know that my mom put in a lot of work to help me to get to where I'm at. How could I unravel after all that work that she put in? And I know that she's in a better place now, right?
Right.
So
Amen.
how selfish of me to be sad. I'm just being a human, though.
Right.
I'm just being human. I
human.
just got to take a knee. Let me get my emotions out. Let me be a professional veteran for a little bit. Because to be honest with you, there's a lot of organizations and resources out there that we just don't tap into. Like, especially when it comes to some of our older generation veterans. Like, you know, just swinging by the nursing homes or spending some time and having a conversation with them at the VA.
I had a gentleman the other day, Kathleen, our producer's on right now, listening to this too, and we were so just surprised by it. I was at the Orlando Vet Memorial Park, just showing the park in the truck, and a Desert Storm guy comes walking up. And I can tell he just needed 2 minutes of a conversation.
That's all
That's
it
it.
takes.
Just wanted to be seen, just wanted to be heard. And I know I could have probably talked to him for an hour.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Vietnam vet, Vinny Manito, super famous in our area. Our stream could have gone for an hour just because of the I would say the familiarity that we had with each other, but yet the complete different story that we have of the same experience.
Yes.
And it's so mind-blowing. Now, you have been up to some crazy stuff lately, and you sent me some photos.
Just this past week, Marine Week has brought life back into me.
Life back lately. But before I'm going to call it intentional knee. We're going to call it the intentional knee.
Yeah.
Before that, you've been trying to get me to do some crazy stuff.
Oh,
and you get out with veterans, you get out with all these different organizations. But why have you taken a liking to jumping out of aircraft? Everyone has their reason, but you look like a bad at right there. I'm going to say bad at right there and not finish it. But look at you. You're a beast.
I try.
Why? What is this? Is there a spike in just an adrenaline junkie that you like? Or is there just being around these men and women and things that the normal Joe in this Chevy Traverse in front of us would never think about doing? Look at you. Why are you doing this kind of stuff?
Okay, so one, right off the rip, why not?
Why not?
I'm capable and I'm able to do that now. Like sometimes talking to some of these older vets and they're like, I wish I would have done more. I wish I would have done that. So now that we're able to.
You don't want to have to wish.
I don't want to have to wish. I don't want to live with any regrets when I get older, when I'm in my camouflage moo-moo as an old lady at the VA.
Drinking those $2 beers? Yeah. I'm there. I'm there about it. So that's
this
why.
This organization's phenomenal. RCPT, Round Canopy Parachute Training. They are a group of amazing veterans that have maintained their airborne status. They do a lot of ceremonies. They jump into games and tournaments, but they also make sure that they stay up to date with the standards. And it's also like a community because the empowerment and
you look like you're about to drop.
I'm ready to go. Let's do this because I felt like a bird up in the sky.
Okay.
It is. I feel like I'm just closer to God there.
Okay.
I feel like an angel. I feel like a bald eagle. Let's go, America. But then,
oh my God, I love you.
When I get down to the ground, who is gonna tell me something? I just jumped out of an airplane. What?
Right.
Witness me. Right.
Yes. No. I hear you because you're like me and female, because sometimes I'm just like, what you got? I just did that. Even though jumping out of I have not done that. I did win the Red Bull challenge the other day, and I thought I was a bit of a beast walking around. Everyone's like, Steve, relax. It was a bicycle, bro. But you have invited me to possibly do this.
Yes.
In March.
Yes, so they open it up for folks to come through. There's a week of training in March. There's also one that just happened in October. Phenomenal group here in Florida, in Palaca, Florida. I'll definitely send some information so we can get it out to everyone out there for sure. But it's an opportunity to, one, get around some great people.
Yep.
Everyone's obviously concerned about your safety. No one wants anything to go wrong.
No, right.
But I didn't have this opportunity in the Marine Corps to get my jump wings, and now I do. And then they'll pull guys from different countries, different jump masters, and to jump with you. People from around the world will travel to Palaca, Florida, of all places, to get jump wings from this organization because they jump in Normandy every year. A lot of them.
So they do ceremonial jumps.
Yes, we jump out of a C-47, which is a phenomenal aircraft too. It's also kind of terrifying because it's an old aircraft. And we know how military grade things work.
They just fly it till it won't fly anymore, kind of thing. This is amazing. Yaritza, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your service. I know it's very cliche, but I appreciate you. Everything you've done. Your friendship, you're always there. If I message her like this, and every now and then she'll slide in and be like, you're killing it.
Yes.
And I think that is what we all need. I think that's Yaritza's message, is we got to be there. We got to be there for each other. And I think the strongest title anybody could hold is a veteran. And there's a brother and sisterhood there that you can't touch. And if you think you're going to mess with us, it ain't going to happen.
Right.
It's that simple. If you are an organization looking for just a massive ball player in your corner, Yaritza is your girl. So you could reach out. We can get you in touch with her and see how she could help you in your organization. Thank you. Thank you for all your advocacy. I love you so much.
Thank you for this platform. Thank you for your service. And for everyone that thanks me and thanks us for our service, you're absolutely worth it. It's exactly why we signed up. It was to be able to stand on the shoulders of giants that came before us, right?
Amen. Amen. I appreciate you, girl.
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
We'll see you guys later. See ya.
Rock.
it.